Recently, 8 Senate Democrats voted to reopen the government by selling out healthcare access for millions of people. That's not compromise, that's betrayal. If you're furious, if you're heartbroken, if you're wondering what the hell you're supposed to do now, you are not alone. I'm Elizabeth Cronise McLaughlin. I'm a lifelong activist and organizer, and I've spent the last 3 decades helping others navigate political storms, both as a human rights and a Wall Street attorney, but also as a lifelong organizer and the founder of the Ripple Effect Institute, where we help purpose-driven leaders create real, sustainable change. And today, I want to talk directly to those of you who feel like you've just been punched in the gut by the very people who were supposed to be on our side. If you're someone who's led, who showed up to fight for progressive causes, this kind of betrayal hits differently. It can make you question everything, and it can make you want to walk away from all of that hard work. But we don't have the privilege or, frankly, the right now to walk away from this fight against authoritarianism. What we have to do instead is shift where we put our energy. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to process the betrayal without burning out and how to take 3 clear steps to turn that heartbreak into strategy, power, and impact. Part 1, why betrayal by your own hits harder. Betrayal by your own party isn't just political, it's personal. We've given Senate Democrats our trust. We've defended them. We've fought to get them reelected. Maybe you've knocked on doors for some of them, made donations, told your own community, these are the people who are fighting for us. And now, 8 Senate Democrats just told us your health care, your safety, your basic dignity was negotiable. That's not a policy difference. That's a moral failure. And if you feel rage, grief, disbelief, you're not overreacting and you're not being dramatic. You're being honest. And that emotional honesty, it's not weakness. It's a sign that your conscience is still working. That's how we know that we still care. And by the way, one of the things that we do here on this channel is help people who really care about what's happening in this nation and in the world to direct their energy in the right ways. So if you like what you're hearing here, please hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget that you can download our free activation guide, which will give you 3 consecutive days of guidance on how you can take the most effective action right now. And if you know you're here to make bigger change, maybe build a legacy of change making for future generations, we want to talk to you. Book a free strategy call with our team here at the Ripple Effect Institute at the link below. Part 2, how to process rage without spiraling. Here's the danger when this kind of betrayal amongst our own happens. We can have a tendency to spiral. We can say things like, I should have known that they were going to move the football again. Or, we can't really trust anyone in the party at all. Or, maybe none of this work that we're doing in support of the Democratic Party even matters. But that spiral leads to collapse. And it actually can undermine not just the good work that we've done so far, but good work that will come in the future. It can lead to collapse, to withdrawal, and to burnout. But that, my friends, is exactly what authoritarian systems want. For each of us to stop fighting, for each of us to go numb, for each of us to give up. Instead, we have to choose to fight back from the inside out. Here's how we do that. Step 1. Name the betrayal. Say it out loud. They didn't have no choice but to reopen the government. They didn't do their best. They chose to actually abandon their constituents, and that is real. Step 2, feel the grief. Cry, rage, maybe write down all of your emotions about what's just happened. Talk to another organizer that you trust. Talk to friends, family members, people who are on our side of the fence. But more importantly than anything, let that grief and rage move through you so it doesn't stay in you. Step 3, and this is maybe the most important one, stay in community. The antidote to despair is not solitude. The antidote to despair is solidarity and action. And that's what we build, by the way, every day inside the Ripple Effect Institute. You are not alone, and it's really important to stay in community with people who get it while we're working through our grief and rage. Part 3, 3 steps to move forward strategically. So where do we go from here in the face of this betrayal? Well, we do have to grieve it as a primary matter, as we've just discussed, not just intellectually, but emotionally. We have to write it, speak it, and mourn it, because grief is not the opposite of power. Grief can actually be the seed of new purpose, and it is a sign of how much we care. Next, we have to organize around the betrayal, and that means taking very specific steps. It means talking to your neighbors, calling a local meeting to ask how to respond to issues that are facing your community, joining or starting a local coalition that will help people in need. You don't need a national title to make a difference. What we do together in the wake of betrayal is what actually builds real power. Because here's the truth that very few folks in Washington actually want to admit. Real political change starts at home. It starts in cities and towns around this nation, in city council meetings, in school boards, in mayoral votes, like ones that we've seen recently that really move the needle. And we've got to work to elect real progressives and to create real progressive change where we live. And that begins with people who come from our own communities, not from think tanks or corporate PACs, not from Democratic strategists who are being paid millions of dollars to advise people in Washington on how to do things that the rest of us don't want. Real community power, it starts with us. It begins with knowing that we have the power to change things, using our voices to actually change them, and most importantly, organizing before the next betrayal happens. We can't keep building strategies around institutions that have shown us repeatedly that they will fold. So yes, we have to pressure senators to do the right thing. We do have to hold them accountable, but also we have to build something else. That means starting a local mutual aid group, helping to coordinate community health clinics, taking over your local Democratic Party committee and endorsing progressive candidates for office, or launching a civic accountability project for electeds who let us down. These sorts of things are exactly what we train people to do inside the Ripple Effect Institute. We help you move from heartbreak to strategy that actually works, to move from reaction to legacy, and to move from watching history to shaping it. Now, this week's betrayal by senior leaders in the Democratic Party wasn't the first, and chances are solid that it won't be the last, unless we stop waiting for the system to save us. This next phase of the movement against authoritarianism won't be built in Washington, D.C. It will be built in community gardens and church basements and local living rooms and in civic organizations where we all live. It will be built by us. So if you're ready to stop waiting, if you're ready to stop being disappointed by leaders who have forgotten who they work for, if you're ready to lead from our progressive values rather than the ones that those in Washington claim to ascribe to while selling us out, now is your time. Book a free strategy call with our team at the Ripple Effect Institute below. We will walk you through your goals, your desired impact, how to get there, and what it means to be a part of a community of progressive leaders nationwide who are doing real work for change, and how to plug into a community of leaders who are done waiting. Unfortunately, our leaders in the Senate have shown us who they are. Now, let's show them who we are. It's time to get to work. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.